It's no big deal, just a little dead dog for him. I hope old horse wins the Triple Crown.
Me too. You're gonna go win the Triple Crown for us, Mage?
It is.
He's like, let me sleep.
It'd be something. 50th anniversary of Secretary's Triple Crown.
Yeah. And the only other horse that won the Derby without running as a 2-year-old since Apollo is the Triple Crown winner, Justify, so maybe that's what it takes.
Him being the house at Barn 42. Dale Earnhardt Jr. He brought the luck. Yeah, he was down here covering this horse.
Congratulations, Mage.
You guys getting sleep? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really? You didn't stay out all night and party up Louisville? And... We've done that, been there. Can't you tell by the color of my hair? I'm back at you.
oh, wait a minute. Oh, shoot.
Well, it seems pretty.
Can you do that again?
He seems pretty joyous.
Can you do that again for the camp? There you go.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
You did a great job, eh? I got two from there.
You found him. Are you identified him, right, in terms of the?
Gustavo Jr. and myself
That was at the.
at the basic tipping
right.
2-year-old timonium sale in
Yeah.
Maryland last year. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned this in the news conference last night, but I mean, applying what you saw in him at that time, and now looking at placing that in the Kentucky Derby where you're going to have a good pace. Can you look back on that and say, yeah, this would be a fit if you could look in your crystal ball at what wound up happening?
Look, I think anyone in our position that goes to the sale, your objective is to do the best possible job. This is like an NFL combine. The scouts, the GMs, you're there doing your due diligence. Everyone wants to do their best job and identify the best potential talent for whatever your budget is. To say that you're thinking, your hope is to achieve a grade 1 status, a Kentucky Derby, it's part of your dream, it's part of your process. When you draft a player, you want to draft a Hall of Famer, a difference maker for your organization. In that concept, that's what we're doing when we're buying racehorses.
And
You'd be lying, kidding to yourself to say, oh, of course, I knew it. But we thought he was a special horse. I mean, we went over budget just because we had a gut feeling amongst ourselves to go for it. So
At that point, you didn't know who I was going to end up owning. You had not put together the partnerships when you bought it.
no, just Gustavo and myself.
And do you know all the different ownership entities, or was some of them brought in other people? Or how
No,
did it work?
myself. 3 years ago, Gustavo Sr., who's been wanting to raise his profile, he's come over here from Venezuela and he's always had a small, boutique 30-horse, 25-horse stable, and it has achieved grade 1 wins. He's achieved grade 1 placings in the Travers and Florida Derby, and yet still has not broken through to attract more clients. Myself, competing as a lower level owner, but at the same time being a bloodstock agent. Wanting to raise my profile to attract more clients to allow me to buy more racehorses of higher quality. We decided to join forces, and we've been going to the sales domestically and internationally, and trying to get horses to compete and see if that creates a little buzz. So it's amazing how sometimes these types of plans come together and work out.
what's your biggest success before yesterday?
So there is the concept of pin hooking, which
Yeah, oh, sure.
you
Oh, yeah.
buy and resell horses. I bought a yearling September of 2018 for $160,000, and then the following spring in March of 2019, he sold for $850,000. And amazingly, by November of that year, that horse ended up winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. His name was Structer.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sure.
that kind of within racing circles gave me a little bit of credibility. And Jeff Giroux, Don Rachel, and Chad Brown were amazing to let me be a part of the ride by inviting me, paddock pass for the Breeders' Cup, and Chad let me to the barn and give me little updates about the horses he was coming along in his career. And then when he retired, I was blessed for the opportunity by Jeff, Chad, and Don to sell him to Japan, or the opportunity to sell him as a stallion prospect, and I was able to sell him to Japan. So that created a little bit of waves, and gives you the confidence that. And I bought it with my partner Joe Pickerel out of Ocala. It gives us the confidence to say we're looking at something and you're identifying talent, and that was probably my biggest success.
You're saying in the press conference that you wanted, you're looking for something to bring more attention to your bloodstock work and to Gustavo's training ability. Put in perspective, you win the greatest race in America. That's a good way to get your name on the
jump start.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a testament to everyone's work, Gustavo, and Junior's a young kid, good-looking guy in his early 30s. He could be out partying, chasing girls, having a blast. Instead, the guy's living in the barn 22 hours a day. I mean, when you're and they were a successful family, economically that they're well off. Junior could be a playboy having a great time, and instead he's living in the barn. You know, this is a dream for everyone.
It's a labor of love, isn't it? I mean, we see everybody up at 3 in the morning at the barn at the crack of dawn and long days, and it's truly a labor of love. We've seen that a lot.
You know, anyone who's you lose way more than you win. The lows are you know, knockout blows, and the victories. I mean, the victories is what carries you to the next step, and you know, you surround yourself with amazing people, because it's so easy to say, oh, I was at the sale and I picked them out, and now I'm, you know, the beauty queen of the moment. But Moises, JJ Legato rides in the morning. While we've been here, Brian has been helping us out. Kina over there, who I tease so much, but she's been helping us here in Kentucky so much last year during the year, part of our barn. They're just as important from top to bottom, the team that we've put together, the support from everyone when it comes together, like those comics like Voltron or Power Rangers, and you guys all come together and create a special thing. It's bananas.
Ramiro, what's just a real quick snapshot on you? How old are you, and where'd you grow up, and how'd you get into this?
Sure, I'm a 5th generation horseman. My grandpa came here in the late 60s, 68, from Colombia when the racetracks there closed. He was first he started as a jockey in 1930, all the way through his passing in 1999. He always said, I was born on the track, I'm going to die on the track. He put in 60 years at Naira, working in every capacity.
Okay, all right.
From hot walker to groom to foreman to assistant trainer to being an owner. My 2 uncles trained at Naira and Finger Lakes for probably as old as the 8th pole over there, and with super small strings with a handful of horses. I was born into. Luckily, my mother was the youngest of that group. So when she went to college here, met my father, got us into horse ownership. So I was lucky to kind of experience another aspect of the business of, you know, being the son of horse owners. We never achieved anything. You know, we maybe ran a couple graded stakes races and we won some allowances, but we never, you know, made it. But you know, the dedication to the sport is the other side of the coin. You give your life to this. You know, my family, it's the time spent, the hours committed to the horse. You know, people in some capacities live paycheck to paycheck in their own, you know, professional careers, and the horses for us, you know, how many times a victory or a placing, that paycheck of that purse bailed you out or brought you out through a special moment in time. And you know, the big races get the glamour and the glitz, but what the horses do for people is unbelievable. And I got to experience that from a very young age. So 44 years old. I've been living in Miami since I was 5.
Okay.
4 or 5 years old. Grew up Calder, Hialeah, Gulfstream. Those are my playgrounds. Even the New York tracks, when I go visit my dad, my parents split up, so when I go visit my dad, Saratoga every summer, I think I've missed 3 Saratogas in my life. You know, Belmont, my earliest memory, Caveat, 83, Belmont, Swale, 84, Chief's Crown, John Henry, Ferdinand. I mean, those were my cartoons. So, for me, it's like a reality that, it's like a dream and a fantasy becomes reality, you know, that you were able to make a career out of this, and that you can think of all these derby, like, you can think of all these derby races, and now you're going to say that I'm going to go to the museum or something and see my name on the... It's like, what?
You're in. Yeah. It's like, careful what you wish for, right?
It's insane.
I mean, there's wildest dreams, right?
So, since I'm working for Maryland Jockeys for the next 2 weeks, what about the Preakness? Did y'all discuss that last night?
No. Look. I mean, I have to start bringing out the cliche book, right? I mean, no, but again, also sincerely, Gustavo and Senior, in the end, this is their show. We're all passengers. Mage and Gustavo and Senior and Junior, they're gonna go over the horse. The horse he's taking us from race to race. We never pushed them or force him to do anything that he didn't want to do. We put the horse before us.
I mean, is it probably a fair characterization? If the horse is doing
100%.
well,
Yeah.
he'll go on to
Yeah.
Baltimore. Unless there's a reason not to go, don't go.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I had another question.
Well, I was going to ask, I mean, and briefly, I know you guys went over it a little bit last night, but why he didn't race it too?
No, it was just timing on the calendar. He was a May purchase at the 2-year-old sale. We always give the horses a month and a half, 2 months off just to power up after the 2-year-old sale, which is, you know, it's just like the NFL Combine.
Right.
It's quite the process. We always give him a little time to power up. And Gustavo's not a guy who says, my horses have to run at Saratoga or, you know, any high-profile 2-year-old race. We'll just let it happen. He could have been ready to run by, you know, end of October, early November. He was fit enough to run, but the weather here in Kentucky was starting to get, you know, rainy and damp, and the track, a lot of off tracks. And for your first start, you want to try to have the conditions as ideal as possible, especially when you're 2. And Miami is home for all of us, but we do split the racing calendar between Kentucky and Miami. So just at that border, we were like, maybe it's time just to go home. We're winter birds, you know, just go back home and hit the reset button. It's not like we're in a rush for anything anyway. So there was never a setback or physical ailments. There was never a problem. It was just a timing thing. And, you know, obviously the condition books for Gulfstream, we always know there's a big maiden special on Pegasus Day. And Gustavo Sr. has a flair for big days. He loves to participate on big days. And you circle that race on the calendar and, you know, voila.
Now that you passed the Derby successfully, the fact that he is lightly raced, does it start playing in your favor? I mean, he's fresh. I mean, he's not over the top. I mean, as far as looking to.
Yeah, I mean, from day one, he wasn't He didn't have the amount of stressful works or pressure put on him in the morning, even for his debut. So the races get him into fitness. There's always a joke that, oh, this was a first-time starter, but he's probably run 20 times in the morning already in company and in bullet works and more strenuous works, and he's been brought along. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice that the races are getting him more and more fit, and, you know, Gustavo for the 1.25 mile, mile 3/16, mile and a half races, it's his strength as a trainer. So it's kind of all playing along.
You're clearly, and I love it, and I think everyone does, to see how much emotion there is. And for our listeners, especially who are horse lovers before anything else, it would be lovely just to hear like about the love of the horse, you know, the personality of the horse, and how he obviously is, you know, he comes first, and that's most important. And we can see that. We love that.
Oh, thank you. I mean, they're the most noble servants on the planet, man. The horses give you everything they got. And this boy has changed our lives overnight. So how much more thankful could you be?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
He looks
Thank
pretty-
you for sharing that.
He looks
with
pretty chill today.
us. Yeah.
You know, I think his mindset has always been his greatest asset. Hence the different trips that he's been on, race to race, and his ability to settle.
He was the first horse out there on the track. wasn't he?
¿Cómo estamos, Monstruo?
Was he the first horse to go out on the track yesterday?
Uh,
Waiting in the chute?
Us and Ray's Kane were the first 2 that came out to the
Yeah,
chute.
because he waited a long time and he was very good there and very calm.
Yeah, he
Very
did that
quiet.
every morning. He'd stand in the gap, just
Yeah, and that was a very calm place for him
Yeah.
to be because he was there quite a while before all the other
Yeah.
horses came out.
no. He's got a great mindset in that capacity. But you know, he's not a mean horse. He's not an aggressive horse. But he's not a puppy, pet me, love me guy either. You give him some peppermints, and he likes the girls a little more. He might bend there, but he's relatively a serious guy, and just into himself and takes care of himself. And
Yeah, I
Good
watched
dude.
him yesterday.
yeah.
Where did he get his name?
Well, Glinda the Good and Good Magic.
Okay.
It was just cool to have something along the lines magician, mage means magician, wizard.
Oh.
So just in lines with the family, and you know, like Coolmore always names their horses in a really like fun and smart way, whether it's like a character or a play on words, and usually that one word, like amazing names. And you know, I always have a feeling you have to have a cool name or a strong name to have success as a runner. Just have fun with it.
You know, the rare company that he is in, beyond being just a derby winner, I mean, just how the statistics he got to.
I mean, it's just these types of milestones are just things that you're just digesting as the information comes to you. What are you gonna say? Like, it's bananas. We're all here just like we did it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still trying to like. There's a I have to watch this replay every time, and he wins every race. he never does not win. So it's just the coolest feeling. And these types of facts, you can just sit back and, you know, you dream of those being in the pantheon of those horses, and you're like, it happened. But you know, nothing can be. I cannot stress enough the importance of the barn, Gustavo Senior and Junior, and everyone down. Even Renee, who takes care of him back home. Moises was like our lead barn groom for the big days he travels. He was with Bill Mott for many years. Even Ralph Nix was a trainer at a Gulfstream that worked with Bill for many years. Called me and said, please, Candido and Moises, who's over here, send them my love, send them my thanks. Those are some top guys. JJ Delgado, who gets on him every morning. Gustavo Senior and Junior, who lay it, you know, just lay it down and giving their everything for this stuff. Those are the guys that, you know, I just love the cameras and can express myself, and my English was great. Thankfully, I was born here.
You teach me.
You mentioned, I think it was you, that one of the owners was from Tennessee.
Yes. So we put together a partnership group after the sale. I'm blessed to have a lot of amazing relationships. I do have I do a little bit of everything, but I have a role with the sales company facing Tipton, which is where we ended up buying the horse at. And I have a lot of lovely relationships here and all over the world. I've been blessed to do business in the bloodstock capacity in 12 countries. So you have a reach, a network, Rolodex or whatever, of a lot of people from a lot of different places. And when you want to create special things, you can reach out to a lot of interesting people. And Sam Hersberg of Sterling Racing, he's from Miami, but now he lives in Southern Cal, goes back and forth. He's in real estate. He's a real estate maven over there, and he jumped in right away. He had a derby starter 10 years ago, and unfortunately had a morning, the day before the race, had a morning setback that had to scratch as well. So he's been chasing the derby. The horse is called Black Onyx. He's been chasing the Derby Dream. And then I reached out to Chase Chamberlain and Brian Dobstader, who are the two principals of the Commonwealth. And Chase is originally from Tennessee. Brian's from LA.
Do you know, Chase, what part of Tennessee? I have a reason for asking.
Oh no, I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, only because I know the sports columnist from the national paper, and I thought, you know, they're so parochial, but here's a local connection for them.
And those guys, credit to them, you know, they had all the faith to join the team, and faith is another reason why we do this. You know, the dream, the faith, the hope, and Chase and Sam and Brian jumped in, and you know, they're just as important to the equation, because this is it's like those maps. You know, you have to put all those little pieces of the puzzle together for the team to come through, and it's such a wide, diverse cast of characters in this barn. We all come together for this moment, and the horse is the crown jewel of everything.
How did you and the Delgados come together?
So home base is Gulfstream Park, and if you know, when you're a broker or an agent in the business, the racetrack is your office.
Sure.
You're constantly watching races, and with Basic Tipton, my role specifically is the South American, Latin American, Caribbean market, and Gulfstream with Ocala. So you really start developing relationships with the local horsemen there. And Gustavo, when he won the test with Paola Queen, we really had, started to the relationship started, just in a friendly terms, and how a bunch of relationships just through, conversations and just small talk, and that continues where might grab a lunch, and anytime you develop a relationship. And 3 years ago, we were at a horse sale, and we sat down, for lunch, and we kind of both looked at each other and saw a lot of things and what we wanted to achieve and how we wanted to forward ourselves in our careers and our paths. And we came to a working relationship, an agreement to say, hey, let's join forces and see where this can go, and 3 years later, here we are. This guy.
Did you wake up and pinch yourself this morning?
I don't know. I don't know if I am awake or if I'm still dreaming. We're just here, just watching this and taking it all in. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Awesome.
It's great. Well, congratulations. Thank you for your time so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Really
Congratulations.
appreciate it.
Saddle column, I could take a picture of.
I don't even know where anything is. The fact that I'm here and
How much longer are you going to be here in Kentucky before you go wherever you're?
I'm going back to my family's in Lexington right now.
Okay.
I told them, don't go back to Miami today. Tell the hotel you're staying another night. I'll go see you guys later. I know the horse will be here because we have a captain. He was third in the Pat Lee Mile last year. He was third in the Fountain of Youth. We thought he was going to be our Derby hope last year. He's running in an allowance on Thursday.
Who's it? I'm sorry. Who's?
His name is O Captain.
Oh, sure, I remember him. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
over
absolutely.
there. So
Okay.
he'll be running next week. And then this is one of our purchases from Ireland. Isabel Alexandra. She broke her maiden in Indiana and ran second and came in an allowance and had 2 unlucky trips in graded stakes races, but she'll run on the 20th year. And as much as I love him, because he's the big dog, that's my girlfriend. I love her. So.
She ran huge at that debut at Indiana.
Yeah,
She was,
hopefully she'll have a big future this year. We're going to keep her sprinting and play to her strength. We tried to stretch her out, and she gave a valiant effort, but I think if you go by her pedigree and her physique, she should be a 5.5, 6 furlong demon this year. Yeah.
Thank you so
Cool,
much.
guys.
Thank you. We really appreciate
So much,
it.
Ramiro.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a blessing. Amazing.
Come on, baby.
We just have to meld all my mistakes into one big morph. It'll be big. Well, you know something?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll for the notes. Right. Since I have to drive by.
Wind is catching it. Yeah. You could come out here, take a tour in the daylight.
5 minutos después de que lo bañamos allá. Tomó, se tomó medio balde de agua. Al ratito luego así como si yo pensé que ¿verdad? Porque así le podemos usar el mismo
You look good on TV.
Do that? Oh, especially the crying when we won.
Oh, yeah.
I got to show you that video when we were crying when we won. Oh my goodness. Probably so. It's quite a, I had 15 messages on my phone when I got to it at the testimony. I finally just looked at it and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, things are going to be looking at. Did you get any?
His eyes look pretty clear, don't they?
Where last time we take care of
Yeah.
because it got a lot of blood. So we wash it.
Yeah, it looks pretty clear.
Yeah, it looks good. We're gonna do it. We put a little medicine today. It looks good. We put a little everything.
Yeah, there's so much.
Oh, yeah.
Too much dirt. Not
What
yet.
a tummy.
For Richard already.
Yeah.
Picture? See?
That's you.
I don't have any pepper.
No more
That's good. His eyes look good. Pretty dirty, too.
Oh yeah, my wife sent it to me. And you get it from last night my wife said, look at it. He sent it to me. I don't even have it. It's already got it. My daughter, you know, especially for me. Yeah, but I don't see my head. You know, somebody took my head. Yeah, when I get my head, I'm maybe inside. You know, let me see.
Typical morning demeanor this morning?
He's chilling.
Pretty much the same? When you get the horse to the good mark?
He wants mints.
What'd you say?
He wants mints.
Oh. Exactly. Everyone.
That's JJ. Girls and mints.
Mientras me gorra me robaron mi cajita, ¿no? Me llevaron en la noche.
La negra.
No, la blanca. ¿Tienes una? Sí. Me la llevaron.
Now you get why.
Estaba lleno.
Oh, no, yeah.
I would like you to do Meredith was in the morning. And I was like, yeah, Meredith.
te manda un abrazo y un saludo.
Gracias.
Y a ti y a Cándido, decía. Mándale un abrazo.
Go to his other side. Go, so you don't have a big pink sign over your head. Go over there. I said, oh, yeah, there you go. It just doesn't say please. There you
I
go.
still don't want people to touch the horse.
I didn't say you can't.
I mean, I still want the sign to
There
be
you
up
go.
there.
Oh yeah, no, it just looks funny over your head. That's all, just for the photo
A lot
of
of
you.
things look funny over my head.
There you go. Just you look prettier that way.
That's a highlight shirt.
Can you put it?
He can hold it. Yeah, just hold
Never
it.
dull moment. Never dull moment.
That's the wrong way. Wrong way. Wrong way.
Oh.
All right, here we go. All right, guys, look here real quick. No, maybe not. Good.
He does that noise.
Yeah, he's like, he's pay the rent.
I've known you for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah,
Yeah, when first? Born in 1961. I'm about your age.
I'm 60.
So, okay, so you're 60, so 77. Okay.
77, I was almost 18.
You were almost 18.
Almost 18 and 17
Okay.
that time.
Well, you weren't even 18 yet.
Not yet, no.
Look at that.
and over now, I can retire now.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. You'd be bored.
Yeah.
You want to be with horses.
Look at this, I get it yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so wonderful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so funny. I knew you, and I couldn't.
I was so close to do this, you know. I go for a Scotty. I win the Scotty Shoe Hog. I win the Wood Memorial with Cahill Rock.
Oh.
I retired Crypto Claris.
Also retired Cahill Road.
Cahill Road.
Remember that winner circle?
Yeah.
Oh, that was like, he was so talented.
Yeah.
He was so talented. Unbridled's brother.
Unbridled's son.
Yeah, okay.
Unbridled's brother, full brother.
Yeah, he
Unbridled.
came back to the winner's circle.
Yeah.
So talented.
The Jackie moved him too much, and
I didn't
I heard
remember.
there's a site, there's a little place in there.
Oh yeah, I know which room you're talking about.
where
Yeah.
was,
So you watched there.
Yeah. So don't let you go.
How did you know all that whole time, or did you suddenly come into the home stretch and go, oh my god? Because that's a
People
lot
ask
of
me who
horses.
runs second, and they, I don't know who runs second, I don't know who runs third. I was just looking at my horse.
Oh my god, I totally love
Looking
it.
and looking.
I say, when did he know that Mage would win? I mean, that's pretty
Yeah, they got the people like, hey, our friends are, who runs second? I don't know.
Right, I don't know. He was brown. He was brown.
I was so excited when I see coming in the house. I said, God, he's gone.
Oh my god, that's like, he ran so tough.
Yeah.
He ran so, wow.
Surprise everybody. Yeah. It's a baby, you know, only for races.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
it's already
To be able to
running.
do the Kentucky Derby with that number of horses for crowd.
Yeah, it's where I was a little, you know.
How about the schooling Friday?
His school want to see, yeah. Oh, he do it to a lot of people yesterday. He do it.
Oh, did he?
That's why
Yesterday?
we stopped him and his number, not to move it too much because he wants to do that. He
Right,
likes to do it
right.
even here. If you don't put a lip chain, he do it.
He
Yeah.
reared up so high during
Yeah.
schooling, so high during schooling. He gets mighty tall. Oh, so he wanted to do
You
it.
gotta be careful because if you pull it, he can flip out. You know, you gotta
Yeah,
know
when he's
him.
that tall. Yeah.
Yeah, you
When
got to know him. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I was praying because a lot of people on the side, you know, and
There were
it's
people
oh maybe come up and hit somebody. You know?
Was the walkover scary? Like, does that scare you with all the...
Pero when he go up, people The people get out of the room. Yeah, so that was a good thing, you know, because and he only do it once, you know. It's my trainer. It's a special.
And then that's you.
I think so. They said earlier that they would probably walk him around non-meeting for people that he was going to come out. Yeah. If you wanted to go in the museum, that's what we can sneak in there. Have you seen the new secretary?
I walked through it yesterday, but I didn't. Like, I was well, I wasn't sure I was coming out or not, but I was so tired. I was sort of in it. I didn't know her, no, but I felt like I think I should know her. No, I that's really odd. Yeah, the red jacket.
As long as I do what's right by him, that's all I care about. Breakfast of Champions. I went yesterday and I bought a $2 win ticket on all 18 of them just in case, since I'll be at the next two. So I'm like, gotta get the souvenir and then hopefully get lucky. All the scratches saved me for this. There's like mint plant. There's mint leaves underneath it. I don't know. Somebody back here earlier noticed it.
Wait.
You know, like just literally any pattern. You can feel like, oh, it looks good at this thing. I'll be like, okay. Yeah, I'll be it. Yeah.
Okay, Frank.
Oh, I see.
I just now found it in the corner back there.
Tell me if it's even.
It's even. Can it go a little bit closer to that?
Even, Steven?
Probably much better.
There you go.
I'll touch it, but I promise I won't steal it. There we go. Thank you.
Not waiting to worry about Tammy.
I got 3 of it. I sold them on eBay. But that dollar would have been. They're unbelievable.
Right now.
It's like, okay, 200 bucks, right? For something like this. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but don't.
Kitty likes it. She's, yeah. I don't know. I want to go out. I like Tiffany. She's, but like, truly, like, I was a kid. No, I know. We're talking about our photos. That's the juicy going. She's got all the nails on her.
Like, I like that attitude. My mom was like, yeah, you're like, oh, no, I
Could be.
Right, or. Barely shows. You'll see more. It's just I don't love it. You don't have the snow brush. That's all I could find. Everyone's right here with the snow brush. Good idea. That's an upstate New Yorker. I'm happy with the KRC. The correct way. That's cool. I was trying to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And then of course I got Maker out.
Yes, I remember that.
So it's totaled up, I think this was the 15th.
And then somehow you just happened to get this job.
And then it just falls in my lap. Go figure.
Hey, it never washes off.
No, it never. So,
Fantastic.
so that's fulfilled my dream. Since I was 5 years old, I wanted to do this.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've stuck with it for a long time.
Yeah. Yes, I have hung in there for a while.
As soon as he came across my, I'm like, oh my God, Brian. So great. Uh-oh, working at that.
Got rain on our parade.
Look at that big thunderstorm looks like it's coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, the lightning's.
Everybody be safe.
I will tell you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That means everything. Perfect.
This is very lightweight, you want to might not be drawn very well. We're going to see what happens with it, and we may have to take it off. As the winds pick up, right? Blowing around.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make sure you get it.
I got a screen. Peppy likes to sit up there.
How's Peppy? Triple crowns as well. How does this measure up to what you did back then? I think they're different. They're more
I'll go on the outside. Thank you. Waiting for him to put his ears up. I'm waiting for it. Still not for that. He's got to take it off.
He rode some winners for yeah.
Before he came here.
Yeah. So, it's unique.
Wow.
There's so many backstories, good backstories.
Yes. I'm so happy. here. Got it. It's not coming. I don't know what's
Yeah, I agree. I
You know, I don't know what's
couldn't
coming.
agree more. 100%.
Yeah, I don't know what's. There must be something in here. That's not what I mean.
Rain has decided to stop. Thank you. You wanna get me that? Let's go.
Yeah, you. I've seen that video to Patty. Don't look me. It's important.
It was the well, all I've ever I dug them out of the bottom of my bag. I was going to do that.
Thank you.
Be safe in the rain. Well, that's a feat in itself to get him to stop chewing.
Nice job.
He likes to eat. He said, I worked on an appetite last night. Did you guys notice?
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
It's super dark. I don't know. Go get him. Go get him. Take a look at this prize. See if you guys like. If you guys are.
Did you get that in? Did you get it?
Where'd that horse go? Oh, the four. Yeah, they're really nice. Yeah, but there's a couple that are rolling. But yeah, a little bit closer.
Question mark on those. That's the one. You know what the lines are.
No, that's all we had. Whatever time.
The other guy did. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Everybody wants a piece.
Oh, they definitely got
Yeah, they're very good.
Here's winning connections after this year's Kentucky Derby. Gustavo, can you put it into words the moment winning the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
Jenny, la alarma, yo pensé que había dejado el teléfono en su casa y ahorita que lo
all the reasons that